Morning all. We need a bish, another 7 a.m. All right, we're just waiting for 2 more. Give them a second. Don't need anything for this workout, just body weight and some space on the floor. It might get aggressive on the knees if you don't have a yoga mat, and even if you do have a yoga mat, it still might get aggressive on the knees. But that's the kind of discomfort that I think is okay. There's a difference between pain and an unpleasurable sensation. You know, putting your knees on a hard surface is not comfortable, but it's not dangerous. And it's something that we could actually maybe build up a little bit of a tolerance to, and maybe should probably build up a little bit of a tolerance to. So mess around with that today. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff on the floor. Even myself, I'm going to find it quite difficult and quite challenging to be doing some of the work that we're going to be doing on hard tile that I have here. But yeah, it's something to just, it might even help with my movement. It might try and make me be softer in my movements. So maybe, you know, if you don't have tons of padding, carpet or yoga mats or whatever it is, use that as a variable with which your body has to adjust. Is everybody here? Dun, dun, dun. Stephen, Gail, Winston, Tony, Ashley, Robin, Emma, Sarah. Still waiting for 2 more, but let's start anyway. Let's go. Oh, I actually do have 2 yoga mats. Maybe let's go with a really easy warm-up. And then what the workout is going to be, pretty hard. We did this exact same one on Monday. Did the exact same one on Monday, and we'll do it again today. It's going to be 5 different crawling patterns for 5 minutes. Now, we break up the 5 minutes with ground movement, and that's what I'm talking about, where your knees might be feeling a little bit. And I'll explain that. Actually, you know what? I'll explain it now, and then we'll do our warm-up. We'll do a really quick, easy little warm-up, and then
we'll go straight into it, because the moving is basically your warm-up as well. You know, it's the same stuff we would be doing in the warm-up. We're just going to be doing more of it. So the ground movements, they're just moving on the ground. So I'll give you some parameters, right? Can we move on the ground without using our hands? How many places can we sit, reach, stretch, move to without using the hands? Okay? There is no right or wrong. It is just trying to move on the floor without our hands. Okay, so figure it out for yourselves. Just that little thing there that I did, that would be enough. You could, you know, maybe even one movement. If you did the hip workout with us on Monday, there was tons of ground movement there. Maybe you want to add in some stuff from that. Other than that, you're on your own. You're getting no other feedback from me. I don't want you to get any other feedback from me. I want you to use your brains. The crawling pattern, that's going to be the same. So it's going to be 5 rounds, 30 seconds of the crawling pattern, 30 seconds of the ground floor pattern, and then we go for another 5 rounds with a new crawling pattern. The groundwork stays. Okay. I'll do it with you on Monday. I use that as my own workout. Today, it's not going to be my workout, so I'm going to be going much slower. I'm going to be going much easier. I'm going to use it as my warm-up for the workout that I'm going to do after this class. Okay, so pick your goal. Okay, if you want it to be your main workout, if you want to really get that heart rate up, we're going to be doing a combined work of, you know, 45 minutes, maybe a little bit more, pretty much non-stop. So if you want it to be up at the higher echelons, you go harder. You try and get more reps. You try and get bigger ranges of motion. You don't take any break. You don't take any rest. If you want to just lazily move through it, work your joints, use it for mobility, then kind of follow what I'm doing, which is going to be going much slower, much easier, really focusing on the breath. However, throughout the entire thing, I don't want you to get to a point where you're bent over here, okay? I want you to always be able to have a conversation. So if I were to ask you a question that involved a 3 to 4 sentence answer, you would be able to do it without, okay? So you're always going to have to check in on the breath. You're always going to have to spend most of your mental energy feeling where your breath is at and controlling that, okay? At the end of the day, this is conditioning. We're trying to build up our capacity. We're not doing that by killing ourselves. We're doing that intelligently by being able to breathe and incorporating more work within the area where we can breathe, okay? Just like lifting weights, we don't lift more weight in crappy form, okay? So let's just do our quick little warm-up, and the warm-up will be our wrists, because that's where we're going to be spending tons of time on. So let's place the hands directly in front of us, and we'll rock forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards. The further you rock forward, the more you're going to feel the effort of this work. You're really thinking, push the heel of the palm into the floor as the shoulders move further and further over the fingers. Okay, shake them out if needs be. We're going to bring the hands in the opposite direction. So, fingers back towards the knees. And this time we rock back. The more you pull your shoulders again towards the fingers, the more of a stretch we're going to feel at the wrist. Same concept. Push your heel, the heel of your palm, into the floor. Okay, now I want you to put your fingers towards each other, like so. Rocking forwards, backwards, side to side, sorry. And always same concept, pushing the heels of the palms into the floor. Okay, shake them out if you need to. Hands in front, let's do a big circle. This time trying to get your fingers involved a little bit as well. So you're pushing through each of your fingers into the floor. Opposite direction. Shake them out again if needs be. This time we're going to go on our fists. We're going to roll one fist forward, the opposite fist back. Trying to turn the fists into a piston or piston pattern motion. Okay, roll the outside of the fist to the floor, knuckles to the floor. Shake them out. Little circles, both directions. Fingers together. Make a figure of 8 in both directions. Shake them out. Okay, cool. So the first crawl we're going to do is just a regular hand, foot, all fours crawl. And that's going to be 30 seconds, and then we move to the ground. Okay? And we shall start. Why is this not going? Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, here we go. Ready, and go. Forwards, backwards, trying to keep your hips in line with your shoulders. Maybe you want to put your camera on you. Maybe you want to be able to see a little mirror image of yourself to see what I'm talking about as I'm moving. We don't want that backgrounding. Down we go, first 30 seconds. Floor movements. So just, if you get stuck, think how many different places can I sit? How many different positions can I sit in comfortably? Maybe you want to add in one of those lunges that we do all the time. Some stretches, back we go, crawls again. Really focus. Head, shoulders, hips in one line. I don't want to see anyone up here yet. It's not the exercise we're going for. I don't want to see anyone leading from their feet, getting all crunched up. I'm always focusing on the breath. I'm paying attention to what my shoulders are doing. Back we go, ground movements. I'm being pretty conservative with my ground movements right now, because as I say, I'm going to be getting used to that extremely hard floor on my knees. Something I'm not really ready for just yet. Back we go to our crawls. But you're not looking at me for those ground movements. You're not looking at me for inspiration from those ground movements. You're doing it yourself. Coming up with your own moves. The crawls, that's where we're being a little bit more strict. That's where I want you to look at the camera. Down we go. Ground movements again. Those crawls, I want you to look at the camera. I want you to see if you can see what I'm talking about. Straight line from the back of the hips to the back of the head. Back we go. Round 4. What I've been working on a lot with the crawls recently is really trying to get my shoulders to absorb the impact from the floor. Think of a cheetah. You ever see those shoulder blades, that scapula that the cheetahs have? How they really move so nicely across the back of their ribs. Ground movements again. This is hard on the knees. On Monday, I put a couple of yoga mats down. I had multiple yoga mats down. And it was much easier. But I purposefully said today, let me try and practice moving softer. Let me not have to use those bony edges. Back we go, last crawl. I'm trying to really focus. Opposite hand and leg. And breathing. Done. Last one. All fours. Or sorry, on the floor. Cheating a little bit. I'm using my hands. Done. You got 90 seconds of rest in between. Just use that time to get the breath completely back down to normal. That inhale, exhale through the nose. The next crawl that we're going to be doing is a bear crawl. So that's in our A-frame position. So hips up really high. Trying to get a straight line as much as possible from hand, shoulder, hip. And again, I'm trying to get those shoulder blades to really move back across the ribs. So as I'm pushing into the floor, I'm getting that retraction at the shoulder blade, almost absorbing the impact. Okay, we're getting ready to go in 10. Same thing on the floor. Want you guys to be nice and creative, coming up with your own ground movements and hip stretches. Ready? Go. Even with the crawls, you might want to change it up a little bit. You might want to add in some things that you're messing around with, like your hand position, going from the knuckles, going from the palms. Down we go. Floor movement. Also using this as a time to really get my breath under control. And back we go to our crawls. Something I found on Monday was when I started to go on my second knuckle, how weak I felt, how much strain was on my hands. So that's something I'm practicing here today. I'm just going to hold this position. And I've changed my focus. The focus is now really on strengthening my hands rather than the pattern. And once it got too much, once I feel like the benefit isn't there, I'm just going to be holding for the sake of it. I'm going back to my crawls and the pans. And down we go. Ground movements. And here I'm just noticing the difference on the internal rotation from side to side. Again, Monday's class, we did lots of this work. Back we go, crawls. I'm going to hold that really hard hand position. So I don't know if you can see it, but now I'm just on my second knuckle. And I'm realizing how weak I am in that position. I find it very hard to take a step and control. So I'm not going to load out of my control. I'm just going to hold that position and see if I can build up some resiliency in that. Down we go, floor movements already. I liked that last one I was doing. I started feeling a lot of benefit from it. The internal rotation, moving from side to side. So I'm going to stay there. If you get to a position, you get to a movement that you like, stay there. It doesn't have to be new each time. You don't have to create a new movement every time we go back to those ground movements. I think for the entirety of the 5 minutes work here, I'm going to work on that internal rotation. Feels good, feels nice. I can tell that I'm getting something from it. So why move on? Down we go. Back we go to our crawls. We're going to have another shot at holding that hand position. I'm going to load my legs a little bit, take some of the pressure off. So you can see I'm sitting back a bit more. I'm losing some of that line. And then slowly I'm going to come forward. Load those hands a bit more. See what the relationship is with this grip and my shoulders, how that changes. And 30 seconds. Done, so I'm down to my internal rotation again. Now with this, don't just mindlessly move. Also see what's happening. So remember how I was talking about that neutral spine on Monday when we were doing all that hip movement. See if you can incorporate some of that with the ground movement. Last one of our bear crawls. Back to the ground movement. After this, we get a little break. And I'm starting to get a little bit bored with this internal rotation. So I know for my next 5 minutes, I'm going to change it up. Done. Shake it out a little bit. We got 90 seconds of rest here. Use that time to get the breath back. Now, by this time, on Monday's class, when I was using this for conditioning, my heart rate was way up, way up. But today, I know I've got a lot of work to do in the gym after it, so I'm really just using this as a warm-up. I'm holding myself back before I feel any crazy conditioning going into my shoulders, my hands, my abs, anything like that. I'm backing off, and that's why I'm doing a little easier. I'm holding positions more. I'm doing more exploration versus conditioning where I was going, much more, going all out a bit more. Still, obviously, always concentrating on the form of the movement, pattern of the movement, trying to get as most out of the movement as I can, but going a little faster, and that's up to you to decide. That's not for me to decide for you. That's up to you. We're going to go again in 10 seconds. What we're doing this time, a duck walk. So staying low, imagine we're in a tunnel. Let's see if we can bounce along on our heels. Ready? Let's go. First 30 seconds. Can we transition without getting taller, without our head coming up? What I've been doing for those transitions, up on the toes and a pivot. But it's up to you. Any little way you want to move. Okay, back we go to the floor. Sitting to the heels. Sitting into one of those lunges. I think that's all I'm going to do for this 30 seconds. Feel free, do whatever you want to do. Just no hands on the floor. And that's somewhat the idea of play as well. When you give kids a game, you don't always give them all the rules. Back we go to our duck walks. You give them parameters and then let them make up the rules and come up with it. Like the floor is lava or whatever it is. There's absolutely no reason that we should stop coming up with those games just because we get old. I'm a huge believer that the brain doesn't stop developing at whatever age they tell us it stops developing. What I believe happens, then we go to floor movements again. What I believe happens is we stop moving in complex patterns. We stop playing games. By the time we're about 25, we've probably found our career or something that looks like it, and it probably looks like sitting down for 8 hours. Probably have to stop learning how to move in new ways. So the brain is no longer putting down those neural pathways. We have to learn how to do other stuff. But generally, it's along the same rhythm. It's in the same track. It's not taking us away from the same things we're doing all the time. Back we go to our ground floor, or to our ground movements. Back we come to those duck walks. Hips are feeling it now for sure. If you get to a point and you just want to hang out here, hang out here. If those knees are getting at you, if you're feeling pain, find a position where you're not feeling pain and see what you can do to stay working. Down we go to the floor. Here we go. Crawls. Whoa. Last one, I think. Trying to remember if I keep turning the same direction each time, or if I'm able to switch it up. Turning over my left shoulder and turning over my right shoulder. Okay, good news. Almost there. Back to our last one on the floor. I'm going to go for an opposite movement. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to put my elbows to the floor. And I just want to go for a change of direction, change of pace on the hips. Still moving them. But I'm not loading them. There's tons of compression there. Now I'm trying to decompress. Done. 15 minutes of work already done. Give yourself a little break. Let's take 90 seconds. Bring the heart back down. Bring the breathing back down. If you want to challenge yourself, think for the next 5 minutes. Can you inhale and exhale through the nose while we're moving? That's going to be a serious challenge. I'm going to try it, but if I need to talk to you guys, I might have to break that. But you know, these are little things that, like, there's no right or wrong. You're just coming up with. What does it feel like if I do this? You know? Just like the baby trying to walk. I wonder what happens if I do that. Ooh, I fall over. I fall over again and again and again and again and again. And then he finds something that he doesn't fall over at. I guess this works then. It's that simple. Okay, ready to go in 10. We're going to go with crab walks. Get the clock going. Okay, so push the floor away, okay? I don't want to see those shoulders up by the ears. See some space between the ear and the shoulder. Ready? Off we go, 30 seconds. As with all crawling, we're looking for contralateral movement, so opposite hand and leg. That's what's going to give us the most support, stabilization. Can we do that? Down we go, 30 seconds. Oh, I'm going to go for some rolls. I haven't done any rolling. I'm giving myself that same parameter. I'm going to try and keep my hands off the floor way harder. What I've given myself the rules, so I'm going to see what I can do without my hands touching the floor. Back we go, crab walks. Little things I'm noticing there. It's like, geez, those rolls really felt really hard. And I had said I wasn't going to let my hands touch the floor. That didn't mean I wasn't allowed to move my arms. And it just occurred to me that I was keeping my arms super rigid. So next time, when I come down, like right now, I'm going to let my hands go. And just try and understand why I thought that by not letting them touch the floor, I couldn't move them at all, and what happens when I can move them versus when I can't. Also, that I'm having a way more difficult time not letting My right hand touch the floor versus my left. Back we go to our crab walks. Can we get that downward force? Can we push down into the ground? Trying to push the arm through the floor. And down we go. I'm going to stick with those rolls because I'm having fun with them. We go to our crawls. Second last time, I believe. Remember, if I was looking for conditioning, I'd be going so much faster. Faster, but still strong. I want to be able to pause at any moment. That's up to you. I'm chilling out. I'm going slow. Then we go to those floor movements of your choice. Now I'm imagining I'm in an Indiana Jones film and I'm holding the Holy Grail or some Fabergé egg or something like that. And I'm trying to roll around the place without letting it touch the floor. Back we come. Last one of our crawls. And down. I'm going to go back to my little Indiana Jones game. I haven't talked about breathing in a while. Are you getting into a position where you can't breathe? Done. Oi. All right. 90 seconds of rest again. We're going to do one more. So this one is going to be the hardest one. We're going to go with a scorpion crawl. So it's basically like a Spider-Man push-up. Okay, twist from side to side. Get as deep as we can to the floor with the hips. So from the front, it looks like so. Okay, and I'm twisting through the hips. It's quite hard to go backwards in this. It's really hard to go backwards in this. Another option is army style crawl. So push, I pull with this guy, pull, and then reach to the other side. This is a good alternative. Tons of core, but it's aggressive on those knees on the floor. I think I might do modifications of both. Up to you. Also, if it's all just too much, go back to any crawl that you want. Let's call this a freestyle round. If you want to go and try the Spider-Man one, go for it. If you want to pick a crawl that you've enjoyed from the last 4 rounds, go back and do that. Or do a different one each time. It's totally up to you, and we are ready to go now.
I'm trying to engage some core work here. I'm trying to feel what the center of the body is doing if I was doing the crawl, and I'm not actually going to go into the crawl. 30 seconds, done. I'm going to mess around with some forward rolls, backward rolls. Not easy, I'm a little nervous doing this on the really hard floor, but it's going to teach me to be soft. It's going to teach me that I can't rely on speed, because with speed I'm going to lose control. Loss of control means greater impact. Back to our crawls. Five seconds left. Just holding this is a doozy, trying to get that tension, cross body tension from my right hand to my left leg, feeling that diagonal line that I'm always talking about. Okay, back we go. My leg is wrong. I'm really trying to pull my left elbow towards my right knee and vice versa. Going crazy, taking that back leg off the floor. Oh, that feels nice on those tiles. And done. Back we go to those floor movements. Again, I'm having fun with those rolls. So I'm going to stay with them. Done. Back we go to the crawl. Left knee, right arm. The nice thing about breaking this down from side to side, I'm able to feel what's different from side to side. Okay, rolls. Done. Last set of crawls. This time I'm going to put it into action.
Done. Last set of the ground floor stuff. Pour moi. And done. Whew. There we go. That's it. That is our work. So what we're going to do is go straight into our cool down. And our cool down is going to be 2 minutes of shaking and then 2 minutes of complete stillness. Okay? Ready? So with the shaking, you're just thinking about drying those hands, letting that shake happen, come through the forearms. Maybe it goes no further up or down the body. Maybe it gets into the ribs. Maybe it gets into the shoulder blades. Maybe you get the legs working. Again, no right or wrong with this. You're just trying to get as loose as possible. Use that breath to chase the tension out of the body as well, to push the tension out. Oh, 2 minutes of shaking, followed by 2 minutes of complete stillness. I'm not really thinking about my breath here. I'm trying to kind of just not think about anything at all, but my focus keeps getting brought to my elbows where there's tons of tension. So I'm seeing if I can, with ease, lengthen them. But not actively moving, it's still.
Done. Finito. Nice, good. So hopefully you all got what you set out to get from this. How's everyone feeling? Good, awesome. Excellent. Eve, any problems with the knee there? Oh, good. Good. Alrighty, all. I will see you tomorrow, perhaps, or throughout the week.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.